Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mission Control, where what did we do at Mission Control, Anita?
We do awesome shit. We incubate. We incubate awesome projects and we launch them fantastically. That's what we do.
Yeah, the real
Well, we
question,
help launch them fantastically.
yeah, the real question is what it is we don't do, because we do have an entire suite of services that you can find at our website. And speaking of our website, if you have not seen it yet, I know I talked about it during one of the streams before, but there was an overhaul of the website, and just allow me to put that on screen. Here it is. There we go.
There it is. Look how pretty it is now.
It is looking good. So the LFG Inc. has gone through a complete overhaul, and we're not done just yet. There will be a whole lot more updated in the near future on all things LFG, our plans, and what we're bringing to the table in addition to what you already know. So stay in the loop, subscribe to the channel, join our Discord and Telegram, whichever one is your medium of choice. And
All links are in the description box below. Sorry, I'm having like issues talking today because it's super early in the morning for me. And like this is why, again, why I look like shit, right? Because when you travel, nothing goes well, like you're lacking sleep and like they don't work and your brain doesn't work properly. So
no,
I'm
I
back.
feel that. I feel
Surprise.
that.
I'm
And
tired.
yeah, and not to not mention the fact that you like barely escaped the earthquake in Southeast Asia like a week ago.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. So what happened was we were all headed out to Pattaya and all of us got into a van, started driving, and then we all went for like a pee stop. And so we're standing outside, and the driver is just like, "Hey, so there's an earthquake. It just happened." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up. No, it didn't." Right? He's like, "No, no, no. It actually happened." And he shows me this footage, and I'm sitting there like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, "Oh my God, Sky Daddy loves us. Like, we just got the fuck out of there. Like 45 minutes. 45 minutes. We just missed it. We didn't feel anything. It was crazy." And then you see all the aftermath after. And I was like, "Holy crap." So it's a little scary. We like narrowly avoided everything. So it's really sad that it all happened. It really sucks to hear that, all the shit went down and there's so many bodies and stuff. Like it's scary to hear.
Yeah, it was
So
a
my
little
heart goes
while
out to
ago.
all of those.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, everyone on the team is all right, miraculously. But we're happy to see everyone back in one piece. Everyone but Anita, because she's a little stranded right now, which is why she's she's on not on her regular setup, but she'll be back. She'll be back for the next one, I think, right?
Absolutely. I won't be on this like weird shitty potato cam. So it'll be good. It'll be good. The lighting will be fine again and I'll have my normal setup. It won't
Okay.
be so sucky.
All right. I'll take
Yeah.
your word for it. Back to the topic on hand. Before we get into the updates, we would like to remind everyone about Unstoppable Domains. We have not talked about them in a little while, but the Unstoppable Domains are
Make
the.
sure. No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, make sure you go grab one if you're looking for a domain, right? Like they're ready to go, right?
They're ready to go, they're completely functional, and they are your optimal way to simplify your identity across the Web3 space. And in partnership with Unstoppable Domains, um, whoa, sorry. The idea is to replace your complex wallet address with a single Web3 username, just to simplify your interactions with other folks in Web3. Because I have a feeling nobody really actually like tells people their wallet like 0x0b6
That's
whatever
a
it
little
is.
crazy. Like imagine having to remember the entire fucking sequence. Like
Well,
that's
that's one
crazy.
thing, and it makes more sense to remember the entire sequence and tell it to someone than like try to get to somebody to scan a QR code. So if you do not want to be flashing QR codes at people who do not want to scan them, but you still want to stay in touch with the people you meet while you're networking at events or you meet somewhere on the interwebs, you can pick up yourself at an LFG domain, and they're as cheap as $2, and they go all the way up to thousands of dollars depending on complexity of the username and
Hmm.
on availability. For example, if you picked up a username, something everyone wants, I don't know what's very trendy right now, like puppies.lfg,
Ooh, puppies.
puppies.lfg. You could resell that domain for an upcharge. I have a feeling.
Hmm.
But yeah, the link is in the description. I've seen some folks in the community pick up their usernames. I know I bought a few. I know a few people who didn't pick one up, so I have a stern conversation with them a little later. But I think it's about time. Anita tells us about the MetaFlora and what's going on with them.
Oh my God, you guys, MetaFlora, MetaFlora. I love them. So, circular protocol partnership, what's going on with that? Do we have a little thing going up for that?
Yeah, some big.
Just the background?
Yep.
So, what's going on? Let's take a look. Is it a video? No, no video?
No, no,
Okay.
no video. Just this. Sorry.
Okay. So, circular protocol to advance global blockchain compliance in healthcare and pharma. Healthcare and pharma, you guys, that's exciting. Like, so before we get into the partnership itself, let's talk about this circular protocol. So the circular protocol is doing exactly what we've talked about in the past with its L1 blockchain, dedicated to improving healthcare, DeSci, and regulated industries, ensuring data integrity, compliance, and AI-driven innovation. Circular ensures the integrity of clinical data and enhances AI-driven diagnostics and enables verifiable electronic health records. That is something we actually need. Verifiable health records. Like, well done, you guys.
Yeah,
So it
and
enables.
just like
No,
really
sorry, go ahead.
quickly, yeah, why is there this weird monopoly on your medical records? Like somebody really tried to make it work, but in the end of the day, what ends up happening is me having to pay 2 or 3 times for the same tests because people are incapable of handing over things.
I wonder why they don't want to. Like, why gatekeep your medical records? Like that, I think that's stupid. Like, you should be able to have it uniform all across the board. Everyone should be able to access it, right? Because that is your care that's at risk, right? Why do you have to keep paying for it? Like,
Well,
you already did it once. Do you really want to do it like nine more times and then pay for it out of pocket? And especially if you're uninsured, that's even worse, right? Like, that sucks a
well,
lot.
see, that's one thing, and it makes sense to have these safeguards in place, but just having to call the office, hang out, just wait while you're on hold, then navigate through a bunch of menus, talk to the people who really don't want to talk to you because they have better things to do. Just to get a hold of
But
your
hey,
medical records, just to send them to another office doesn't feel like a great way to do things.
they shouldn't have something better to do though, because that's their job, right? They shouldn't be like, I don't want to do it. It's part of their job. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting paid to do this. Like, just
Yeah,
do your
but
job.
like, wouldn't you rather do something more exciting? I don't know what there would be exciting at like dentist's reception desk, but I have a feeling
I don't
answering
know,
calls
man.
isn't one.
That's part of your job. Just do it, right? Make everyone happy. Be efficient, man. Like, do your job, you know? As horrible as it sounds. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, when it comes to like electronic health records, you want everyone to be compliant. Everything should be uniform. It should all flow correctly, right? You want to be able to pull up the same report and everyone's looking at the same thing instead of like, say, one test is a little off because you had to do like nine, one's looking at one, one's looking at another. Things change over time, right? You just want to do the one and have everything reflect and have that correct medical opinion, right? So these health records are really important. Now, it's their mission to provide regulatory first blockchain infrastructure that ensures secure, verifiable, AI-driven healthcare advancements too. Now, they are empowering institutions, regulators, and industries to enhance data integrity, drive innovation, and build the future of accountable digital trust. Like, this should always have been a thing. Like, ever since like
Oh my god.
EMRs have been a thing, but it's never really been. I don't know why it's not regularly adopted as in like just one system. So
Okay.
like,
I got I got this inside scoop for you just now, just this second. Big shout to Subspace. Subspace is in chat and he says that he does work in healthcare and he says they are so primitive that they think that Web 2.0 tech is modern. And then he said the
No.
problem with electronic healthcare, the problem with electronic healthcare records is not tech, it's politics. And that's sort of what it feels like, because why make things simple when you can run the same person through the same test a couple of times and like triple charge their insurance? That sounds a whole lot more fun than just doing one test, right?
Now, yes, it is more fun for, I don't know, whoever's doing the billing. It's not fun. It's extra work, you dinks. It's extra work. Like I used to be in billing as well. Like, why would you have to do this over and over again? Because even as an insurance company, you bill it once. Like in a calendar year, you get so many amounts of tests that you can do. And then after that, you have to pay out of pocket. Who the hell wants to pay out of pocket when you've already done it once? And then the other guy's like, oh, it's unacceptable. It's 3 months old. Oh, yeah, because it passed by one day.
Yeah, because I had to
Is
wait
that
three
that's
months to get
unacceptable?
into your office.
Yeah. Like it takes so long. And like EMR, even in Canada, they are about 10, 15 years behind when I was in it. They're like, oh my God, this is new. I was like, this is not new at all, right? It's super old by the time they're trying to teach everyone else in the industry. Like, let's update it, okay? Make one that works all across the board and make life easy for everyone. Like, it shouldn't be a system where, you're making money off of sick people. You guys are sick. Don't do that. It's
Oh,
terrible. So,
oh
anyways,
my god, hang
now with
on.
that said, this
Subspace
is
got
going to be
another
like,
scoop. Sorry,
oh,
sorry.
there's more.
Yeah, he said, LOL, if you want to move your EMR to another system, they actually still give you a CD. That's just great.
Mm,
At least it's not a floppy
why are we
disk.
so behind?
Why are they so behind, is
Oh,
what I want to know. And
why
like,
are they so behind? Like,
at the same
zero
time,
sense.
they're not far enough behind towards cool, because if they still use like punch cards, I'd be down with that. But they're using CDs, man. I'd be down with floppy disks, but they're using CDs, whatever.
Oh, floppy disk. I want the rainbow set. This is from January. This is February. I want them color coded.
Yep, pretty
Just kidding.
much.
Don't do that. Just make life easier for everyone, right? Like, let's cure our shit, make it good all across the board.
All right,
So,
I'm a stubborn trap.
anyways, with that being said, this is going to be like a match made in heaven. Circular and MetaFlora goals are aligned so well. It feels good where they're going and what we're bringing to this into this space. So, from what I know, and I only know is available to public, this is the next huge commitment from both Circular and MetaFlora. Now, MetaFlora is one of the only 5 global nodes supporting Circular's protocol healthcare blockchain network. That's big, you guys. With this node, MetaFlora is going to be able to verify data in compliance with major global frameworks, including FDA regulations, HIPAA privacy standards, DARPA level innovation benchmarks, and the European standard of digital passports. So, with digital passports, I don't know if I really trust that yet, but I hope it works out. Like,
I feel like it's a
uh,
bit of a touchy subject, like anything that has to
it's
do with digital security, because
like
it's either
I want it to
convenient.
work well.
Yeah, exactly. You want it to work well, but it's either at this point right now, without any inside look, and I'm hoping Subspace knows something about this. You would have
Subspace,
to compromise
anything?
either security or convenience, which is how it typically works.
Here's the issue. Why do you have to sacrifice any of them? Why can't they
Probably
just work the way they're supposed to?
Probably because they're still using CDs. But but with what Metaflora and Circular are doing, I feel like they're on the right track. Just keeping things tight, keeping things locked down on blockchain just might be the way to go. And with how fast things are moving, I have a feeling we're gonna learn real soon how that's gonna work.
I can't wait to see it actually because they're behind, like hella behind. So like let's get on board. Let's get shit going. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Make it easier for everyone to get the care that they need and accurate care. Okay. Because It is so necessary. Like, look at all the bullshit in the healthcare industry already. And it's not even just like the records, it's how people are being treated. It's so sad. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, give the people the care that they need. They're paying an arm and a leg and their firstborn child for it, okay? Like, do right by the people.
Okay, we got
So,
another
anyways,
scoop from Subspace.
oh,
Okay,
oh,
there are two main systems out there, and they're both businesses, and they do not want to talk to each other digitally. So, I mean, it just makes sense now. Everything makes sense.
that is so horrible. Like, I'm sorry, but that my eyeballs almost rolled out of my head. But it's so stupid. Like, I'm sorry to bash you guys, the healthcare systems, but like, get on board, right? Make things easy because it's the people that are paying for everything. You know what I mean? They are putting a bajillion dollars every day. People are going broke paying for healthcare shit. Make it work. Okay. Support the people because they're supporting your damn business. Make it work. Make it work. So, anyways, enough of my ranting here. There was this awesome AMA around DeSci and biotech with David Cutler as the host of Gianluca Dinofi. Sorry, I'm butchering names. Very sorry. I'm, as you could tell, I'm great with names. So, anyways, this is the founder of Circular Protocol. So go check it out. The link to the AMA is in the description box below. Now, before I get overly heated all over again, let's talk about MetaFlora's Artist Coalition. Okay, and it's released with David, with Spencer Lankusik. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Linguistic, I think, and guys,
Lankusik?
you can blame North American public education for what you're hearing right here. How we're trying to pronounce things that we're not used to.
Thank you. Thank you. So the track itself dropped April 1st. So go check it out. It does allow you to earn the 12% reward pool for just holding the track. So
Yep,
get on it.
you do get to earn from the dedicated 12% reward pool provided by MetaFlora in addition to all the traditional rewards. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Okie doke. Up next, allow me to just
Valley.
exactly Valley. Okie dokie. So folks, this time around we do not have a new game from Valley. Those games typically come out right after I'm done talking to Valley, so keep an eye out for after the stream because it's happened like 3 times at this point. Anyway, we do not have a new
What's
game,
exciting?
but we do have the next best thing. We have news about the one and only game, the most coveted game in the Valley Arcade right now, and the game it's well, I should probably do an intro here a little bit just for the folks. So, the coveted game that we're all waiting for is the Star Atlas X Valley game, and it is developed by the one and only Warren. And at this point, we don't know much, but we do know that it has a name. And
What's the name?
the name is Spinfire, and we also got a few previews, a few teasers from Warren. We got to hear a little bit about, very little bit about what the game is like on one of the previous streams. And let me just play the bit of the preview here. So, again, while there isn't much known about the game or how it is played, even Wave and I got to theorize a little bit and dissect this snippet of gameplay you're seeing on screen. First and foremost, the name makes absolute sense because you're quite literally spinning in your, what I'm assuming is a spaceship, and you're firing at the same time while evading enemy fire and making a name for yourself on the global leaderboards that we all love, which again are provided by Valley. And as you can see at the top of the screen, there is a score, and in the top right corner, you're seeing a multiplier, very similar to what we've seen in Down Deep, a game by the same developer, by Warren. And now, for me personally, the most exciting thing that I can pick out of what's going on is the bar at the bottom. Because
The little yellow bar?
yeah, because we don't know exactly what it does. I have not heard anything from Warren. He decided not to share, which I respect. I feel like me theorizing here and just speculating might be more entertaining than just getting a straight answer. But I think once you fill the
It
bar
looks
up, you
like
should
enemy
get a
kills.
power up. Yeah, you get
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, probably a power
Yeah,
up. Um,
because like you're murdering enemies and it's filling up from what I can see. So I want to see the power up.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what is the special move that they're going to give you?
I
Is
don't
it like a
know.
whole screen clear? Because that would be pretty damn cool.
I
Like,
don't know. I don't know, but I feel like we should learn very soon, especially because I've seen Johnny posting screenshots of his high score in Spinfire and telling people they
mm,
would love to play the game. They would love the game, but without actually allowing us to play the game. It is what it is, though. I get it. I've been there. But we're probably seeing it very soon because it looks pretty flushed out here. And again, people are already playing it. We know that Johnny is. Even Wave probably is. He hasn't told me so, but probably. Okay, let's see. What else do we have going on with Valley?
I'm hearing big changes. What are the big changes coming?
Oh, you have no idea, do you?
No. Tell us all about it.
Okay.
What are these big changes?
All right, all right. So again, I'm done speculating about the game that I've not gotten to play just yet. So let's talk about the big changes that Anita brought up. And with the first official season coming soon, Valley is prepping us for the huge changes that are going to come along with the new season. And first and foremost, we now know about token play, and starting soon, leaderboard runs will cost 5 tickets per play or just 3 tickets if you are a node owner. And you will still be able to make your practice runs, you will still be able to play the games free of charge. But if you do want to put your name up on leaderboard, you will have to punch some tickets, if you will. Again, 5 if you're a regular player, only 3 if you're not owner. And now the first question that comes to mind is what happens to these tickets? Where do they go? How are they used? And again, Valley comes at us fast with a brief description of what the system is going to look like. So, with each leaderboard play, there's a breakdown of where those tickets are allocated, with 2 tickets going to the game developer, 2 tickets going to the community focused pot, and 1 ticket going to Valley. So, and if I had to guess, if you are a node owner, the 3 tickets just split 3 ways, 1 each for game developer, community focused pot, and Valley themselves. And this is the biggest update that we know of so far, but Valley is cooking up quite a lot of things that I wish I knew more about.
Mm,
But we do have a few more things that they briefly talked about, and we're going to see them soon. And I really do mean soon because again at this Valley they move at breakneck speeds all the time, and we're going to hear more about. Now let me emphasize this part. We're going to hear more about player profiles, leaderboard resets, new games, and a few surprises we can't wait to share. Well, I honestly wouldn't wait, but
mm.
they just didn't tell me yet, probably for that reason exactly.
Oh, for
But
that reason, because I'm always like, give us the leaks. Give us leaks.
I
Give us
mean,
something.
if you guys want leaks, a great place to get leaks are the game streams with Valley because even Wave
Mm,
typically brings something with them to talk about, something to show off, something fancy, something new. That's where we got to see the gameplay for Spinfire first, even before we knew the name of the game.
mm.
But with all
So
that
if you guys
said,
want the leaks,
oh yeah,
go there.
exactly. Yeah, they're all on this channel. You can check them out. You can go see them right now. And with all this said, this is quite a big step for Valley as they're building a more rewarding ecosystem designed to last and truly reward players, all in an effort to support real competition, boost long-term utility, sustainability, and open up some exciting opportunities for players, developers, and communities alike. So, with all that said, we have one more.
We have a guest, right? Is
Exactly.
that the one?
That's it. That's it. We do
Yes.
have a guest. Allow me to pull this up on screen. Okay, everyone be nice. This is Russ Frankie, the man himself, the
Be
CEO of
nice.
Hubzz. A great guy. We had a great conversation last week about Hubzz, what Hubzz is, and just everything about them. So, how are you doing, man? How are you feeling today?
Doing great. Happy to be here. This is, like I said, I love the format. I feel right at home. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Okay, doke. Allow me to play the video you shared with us. One moment, and yeah.
You know? of those cute dogs. So they really helped us with our marketing messages and stuff. And you'll actually probably see it that we use their assets a lot. So it saved us a lot of time. We have our own characters we will not get to, though. So yeah.
Okay, so really quickly, the project overview. And Hubzz is a next generation social metaverse designed for immersive, community driven experiences. And when we first had this conversation with Russ, he introduced all of this by talking a little bit about how communities that are either based around influencers, around streamers, around video games, etc., end up being very much mistreated in the Web 2 world because it's not. Because for whatever reason, what people are doing in Web 3, letting people in on the development, how it's going, taking their input, etc., is only utilized in the Web 3 space, not in the Web 2 space. And yeah, we just if you would talk a little bit about how folks are mistreated, I would love to hear about it.
I mean, I wouldn't go like mistreated is a strong word. I think people don't know how good they could be treated, especially when we're talking about parasocial relationships, and we can reference Kick and Twitch streamers and how you're literally an avatar and a name in a flood of chats referenced as one entity called chat, and how the W and the L got into our lexicon as an actual way of explaining things. Like, oh, what do you think, chat? And then the W's flooding, so they're like, that's a W. But it's a parasocial relationship that is very one-sided, and these people get so emotionally invested in a figure that'll never know their name. And that's just something that I just really feel passionate about. I feel like, and I go into the Dunbar's number, you can have 150 working relationship maximum in your working memory. And I think that's just like a healthy amount of people to keep up with. Not that you can't have a streamer who has like tens of thousands of followers, and that's fine too. But I think there needs to also be room for those more intimate settings where you're following people doing stuff you care about and want to learn more about. So I like micro influencers a lot. I think there's a lot of room to grow there and a lot of areas for us to build for them, especially in the Web3 space.
Yeah, and in the timeline of growth of a big influencer / streamer, I feel like the first 30% of their growth is probably the sweet spot for you as a viewer, because that's when you actually get to interact with them. That's when you're actually going to have conversations, right? Instead of again just being being chat.
The foundation, right? So you get your super fans or your mega community members in the early days, and that's like the foundation. And yeah, I don't want to cut you off there, dude. I'm telling you, I can go on these rabbit trails because I've been staring at this for over a year now, so it's wild. But it's all passion.
I get it, man. And honestly, I know you just said a year, but it really doesn't feel like it because I've seen the demo. I've played around with it a little bit. You've shown me a bunch of stuff, and the progress you've made is just a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's I'm really happy with the people that I've just kind of serendipitously found throughout building this, and they came along because they really believed in the vision, and so I'm just really fortunate in a lot of ways how things have panned out.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, I mean, it's honestly, I know we already said the word metaverse, and we've heard this a million times, and it hasn't necessarily panned out the way people had imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta give Russ credit for this because I feel like him and his team, they sort of figured out what went wrong. And one of the biggest props and one of the biggest selling points for me personally is their approach to user interface and overall UI UX, because they're not looking to lock you into the experience they think is going to be right for you. So you're not going to be just no one is going to twist your arm into figuring out a VR setup to interact with other people on their platform. No one is ever going to be twisting your arm to interact with a 3D digital experience, because it could be as simple as just interacting with Discord, and it can again go go further and further, just as much as far as you want it to take, as immersive as you want it to be.
We call it selective immersion, actually.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no, it's accessibility is key. We're trying to coin the phrase hyper casual metaverse. And if you want me to jump into my thesis on where the metaverse went wrong, I can do that, but it's
I'm
up to
here for
you.
it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's all opinions. But I think everyone was looking at Roblox numbers, even Meta, and they're astronomical. We're like 30 plus billion. And they didn't, and that's all based on user generated content, but they don't consider it's user generated content for children with their parents' credit cards, who having
Oh,
Roblox as the world's best babysitter, you're gonna get those microtransactions racking up, man. And if you're a developer, it doesn't matter what Decentraland and Sandbox and the revenue share is. There's 90 million daily active users on Roblox that are kids, 43% who are under the age of 13, that have a low threshold for entertainment. So you only have to know a little bit of the psychology to get them to click that button and to ask the parents for another like top up.
oh, don't I know it?
I was about to
Be
say.
worse. Be worse. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and my thing is that you just cannot expect adults to have the same criteria, even approaching user-generated content. You really need to meet them where they're at, and where they're at is algorithmic discovery. And you can't fight against algorithmic discovery. So why don't you take the community building nature of Discord and just apply the TikTok esque algorithm system, right? So now you have this infinite feed of curated content that's live, that's like relevant to you. It's like a trending community when something's popping off right in the moment. You can jump in there. Instead of having to keep up with thousands of notifications, that red number with the circle around it, like that you'll never catch up on in Discord. Like, why can't that be, automated and take on the same approach as this algorithmic discovery does in every other sector for some reason? So sorry, get on tangents, man.
Again, man, I'm here for it. I like to. It's good to get perspective on these things because you don't necessarily get it
Yeah.
just by exploring the interwebs, because it doesn't just it's typically hidden somewhere, the
Hmm.
actual true insight.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to pull up any visuals, man, feel free. I
Yeah,
can.
absolutely. Right before we jump into that,
Visuals.
we do have some questions from Subspace.
Question.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Subspace goes, how does Hubs tie into the blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that spelling is like common. I had no idea that it's Hubzz. And there's a lot of lore behind that if you love lore. But it is like deeply, deeply tied into the blockchain. But initially, we are starting in a more centralized way in order to perfect the system to start offloading. But to really answer it shortly, it's going to be completely decentralized over time. And we have this like iterative approach of how to do that. Even your interactions in world, if you're attending events and how long you've been there and the items you have, like it's all on chain as it's feasible. Because we both know that a lot changes in a day in blockchain space. And so we sort of offset a lot of these big decisions, not on how we're going to do it, but like with whom, just because, we want more inputs from the community, and then for saving money on like audits and things like that. So we will be entirely integrated in every way that we feasibly can.
Well, there you have it,
And
folks.
I can go into details on each one of those aspects, but it's a long answer.
Let's see what else Subspace wants to
Yeah,
learn about.
subspace, keep them rolling, man.
Okay, so this one goes out to you as well. What is the metaverse? So I'm
I
guessing to
mean,
you.
yeah, so I'll actually never call Hubs a metaverse. I mean, it's in our description. No, actually, in our description now, it's a social virtual world. But I just believe it's the 3D internet, and the metaverse, in essence, to me, is ecosystems that you opt into, that you basically have experience with the things that you own online, and like your rights are there as well. However, I think I actually lean into like the true metaverse being more of like augmented reality and overlay. And I think that's essentially what I would deem like the true metaverse. Maybe that's why I call us a social virtual world, because it's really just, it's a little bit different. It's not that it doesn't have the criteria of a metaverse, but yeah, I do believe that the metaverse is just a 3D, more tangible internet, with a lot more ownership.
So, and I have a feeling And at least that's like my personal opinion. Just really quickly, Facebook, Meta, don't listen really quickly. Thanks. Once a company like Facebook picks something up and starts like throwing it at me in people's faces, it kind of loses that initial
Mm,
gleam, initial shine, and
yeah.
I have a feeling people are just going to stop saying metaverse just because of something Facebook had done.
Yeah. No, Zuckerberg definitely rained on all future parades for this genre. It's hard because meta is info, like it's like the infoverse. So it's weird to not say that because I just hate that he's just like claimed it because he has enough money to literally buy the rights to meta. But yeah, he definitely has made things much more difficult. I mean, and it's nor here nor there. I think if I want to make VCs happy, I don't say metaverse. I say social virtual world. I actually don't say NFTs. I say digital collectibles. Like I've had to adjust my own lexicon to be able to navigate these burnt out VCs from their past relationships.
It's actually smart.
Yeah,
Mm,
Yeah.
that's been a topic of discussion for a little while now, and we're seeing more and more people do this because of the overwhelming bias that certain projects had brought upon uh, the blockchain world upon Web three. Because whenever I say whenever I say NFT somewhere in public, when I'm talking to my friends,
mm,
their first thought always goes to the damn monkey JPEGs.
mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to come back from that. It's really hard to bring the
Well,
person back once their entire perspective is just tainted by people selling monkey JPEGs for millions of dollars.
yeah.
So
It's yeah, you want my take on that because it's like it's like those are like the meme tokens of NFTs essentially, but that's PFPs are. Um, and then my thesis on that is that it's the first and most easiest thing to adopt, especially for someone who works a 9 to 5 who doesn't really have time to really consume a white paper. Like it took me 2 years to understand the tech behind all this, to understand like the utility that can be piled on top of that, and then the liberation it gives you from centralized systems having provenance and all this other stuff. So it's just a shame that suits came in and muddied the waters for something that was so pure and revolutionary, and now we just have to wait longer for people to get over their butt hurtness. So
That's a
it's
good way to put it.
I mean, incredible way to put it. It is also crazy how quickly they were on their feet and how incredibly they mismanaged everything. Because
it's almost
typically,
like that a Web 2 mindset.
oh man, you're preaching to the choir, but I appreciate you bringing that up for sure. Okay, so let's talk about the tower.
Okay. Yeah. It is the Carnegie Hall of Hubs. Not that's just the event center, which is on the top. I don't know if you were gonna pull up a visual
I
or
Yeah,
I
I'm
can paint a
gonna
good mental
pull
picture,
them.
man.
I'm pulling them up right now. I'm just struggling a little with my
No,
overlays.
you're all good. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go to demo.hubs.com, I mean, you're full and well and able to. Um, but yeah, the Hubs Tower is essentially where we do. Oh yeah, that actually is an older rendering, but it does it really well. Way more high fidelity in the final version, but just to give you a quick rundown, it really showcases all the different utility of what we can do in world, and we use Cartesian coordinates, so it's 0 0. I don't know if you're familiar with like playing Battleship, so it's like Battleship in 4 different ways. So dead center, Hubs Tower, and I say Carnegie Hall because the event center is on the top. And so, like, I imagine, 10 years from now, if you get to play it in the Hubs Tower, it is like going and playing in Carnegie Hall. But it is made up of 3 different types of utility: public spaces, private spaces, and an event center, which is the roof again. So if you're in the lobby, that's a public space. If you're outside, public space. In the elevator, also, if you go up to any of the 12 floors, all public spaces, you can run into people. But then there are rooms, 180 rooms that are owned by the players. What's really fun is when we started selling those really early on, is people really cared about who they were across the hall from, and the proximity of that was really special to them. So that's really a huge differentiator from what we do versus others. We don't do a parcel; we do a full build out, and not only do we build it out aesthetically, but we help you to actually have like sub properties within your zone and things like that. So if you have the zone map, it could actually help there. I don't know if I gave you that one.
Not quite, but let's pull it up.
I mean, if you don't have it, that's cool. I can explain. But anyway, it's an interconnected open world. So you can only be at one place. Oh yeah, they're cool. I mean, that's a part of it. So it's the more of the upper half. But you can see the darker areas, the central zones, which they have what we call building block allocation. That's 50,000, mid, slightly out 40,000, and then what we do is we release zones automatically on a nouns DAO type release rolling auction format. You can see that there's a few on the top left, and that's how we continually grow. But the really cool thing, this is the reason why I wanted to tell you about the building blocks, is because the further you go out from the center, it becomes more and more rural. So the value is like, the end game is to get a place in the center area.
In the downtown, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah. I hope there's more questions though from Homie. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, Subspace is asking, what about communications? Will all of our chats be on chain?
No, I honestly love so for me, I take an approach that the chats will be encrypted to you and we don't store any of it. And I like that. I like the Snapchat approach. And that's just how I believe it should be. But then the reason being is because, if you're talking to someone in real life, unless they're recording the conversation, it shouldn't be stored. And there's no real reason it should be logged per se. I mean, you could always save it on your own local, whatever, but I don't believe that we should be storing your data and your information in that way.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that too.
That's the rooftop of an old render, but you can see we have like seating area, a merch store, a stage, and then a what we call our venue modules, where you can do our version of drop-in audio and video. So it's like Twitter Spaces, except with the 3D renderings of your characters and things like that. And yeah, so it's all kind of baked. I mean, this was all inspired by Clubhouse. To be like, to give you kind of the origin story, I always wondered, after I finished working, I'd be on Clubhouse and just kind of doing the scroll, popping in the conversations if they seemed interesting, and then hopping on stage if I really wanted to say something. But it felt like being around a campfire, and it was something like special and intimate. And I always wondered if there was an added layer of immersion, and then it took on the Web3 ethos, and if that was all kind of married together in one world where, like there's, this tapestry of communities, side by side doing their thing. I don't know, man. And so this is really the birth of all of that in my brain, dreaming about it since 2017, since joining the space. I've always wanted something like this, a holistic place too, to bring all my collectibles, to interface with people, and then have events.
Speaking of collectibles, and I feel like this is my favorite feature because I know we already talked about PFPs. We talked about how they are they're the meme coins of the NFT world, but I do like them. I like them. I collect them.
Nothing against
I
them
buy
at all.
them. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to show off the room really quickly, and I'm covering you, Anita. My bad.
Yeah. So this is a rendering, and so each one of those like items would be an asset that you own in your wallet, and then those are actually my art. That's my NFT artwork, like my favorite stuff. I got Perrin, you got Brinkerman, Stina Jones, all of them, and yeah, even the rug. You can do the paint customization, the flooring, all that jazz. But yeah, this is an earlier rendering. You have a door that you can leave out and go in the hallway. But it's connected. It's all very connected, and not only connected, but it's like stitched in. Like every cube, think of Minecraft, of that room is part of the open world itself. So even though you have your own instance, you can leave and then be a part of the global Hubzz.
Okay. So I just got the demo figured out, and give us one moment.
Demos.
Yeah, give us one moment to figure out the screen regions, and we're gonna show you the demo.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We're back. We're back with the demo, and I'm a gray dog by the same name, Sinister, and I got Russ right here.
Oh, how cute.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, so you click and hold. Yeah, there, dude, you found it out. How intuitive is that? You know, it's almost as if someone tried to make it where you would just find out on your own. Yeah, hop up on stage, man. Do an exclamation point dance if you want.
Fun.
Exclamation point dance. There it is.
Yeah. It goes all the way up to like this is, of course, it'd be different in the actual final UI, and I would love to be able to show that at some point. But yeah, this again is our game engine, right? So it's the experience layer. I'm gonna get my dance. This is my favorite one. Just that. You can see the kick being streamed in the back. Yeah, cool. So this behind us is a venue module. It's kind of pretty much standard these days for most metaverse worlds and stuff. But it's part of our event system where you can have like either our drop-in audio. I'll show you something cool real quick. Let's go stop that.
Oh, I want to see the guy eating like sandwiches. Oh, there you are.
Eating, I can get a sandwich. Like,
how cute.
But
That's
so this is
cool.
So we haven't pushed the latest update for our drop-in audio, but essentially everything that you can have on Twitter Spaces, we can do here with the talking heads. The cool thing is when you invite them up on stage, they literally go up on stage. If they raise their hand, they line up. But a lot more things you can do when you have virtual characters involved, because Twitter Spaces, you don't know who raised their hand first and things like that. So it's really cool how we're able to actually get different kind of features and such. But yeah, you use the venue module. You can queue up videos. We actually have it where like you can do the light sequences to go along with the video, because I really studied events and how, like what goes into an event. And I wanted to kind of bring that, because events are the heartbeat of our ecosystem. It's what gets people in the door. It's the only thing that really worked in the metaverse is hosting events, giving away free stuff, and then buy brands that you know and love. Were you able to switch to first person mode?
No, I didn't know I could do that.
You can do that from in the top right, the 3 little dots there. If you click that and then just switch.
First person. Oh.
Yeah, and then drag around. Yeah, there you go. So that kind of gives you an idea. I mean, that's part of the selective immersion. The other alternatives are being able to full screen what's on like the media. So it's full screen media. We call it cinema mode, but it's exactly the experience you get on Twitch and Kick. We provide that. I'll come over here. If you double click, you get a little speed boost. That's a little Easter egg there.
Oh.
But yeah, there's and then it goes all the way to virtual reality. So what you see there is exactly what it looks like in virtual reality, except you have more of a range of motion, obviously, with your hands and stuff. You are still like kind of fixed in the grid when you're moving around, but that's on purpose. And so yeah, that's pretty much like the roundabout way of sharing the experience. If you do you know how to do like drone? Let's see. It's like, you know what the colons are, and then type drone, and maybe get out of first person. That way.
Drone. Oops. Come on, drone.
Dude, maybe wait. Get out of first person, because you can see it flying in.
There
you go. And then if you drag that, so when it stops flying, you can click it and then drag it to take a selfie with us.
Oh, hi.
So we can kind of like, the first thing you want to do when you like, find a celebrity in a virtual world is grab a selfie. And so we did that early part of a campaign, but it's really fun to be able to kind of like have that early on. Eventually you'll be able to reskin your own personal drone, things like that. So, and if you wanted to hop over, go to the elevator. If you scroll over and then you just double click on the elevator door, and we'll just kind of like teleport over to
my favorite room.
Yeah, the only room right now. This would be like a smaller room. If you owned it, you wouldn't be a baller by any means, but you can get all the way to like full-on homes. Don't try to sit down, because you will enter the furniture itself. But one really cool thing is if you like zoom in, because we have like spatial audio and stuff. So if we want to be like doing the voice chat, we could, but like your mouth moves when you talk with the chatting or voice, and it actually does the vowels and everything. So again, we try to make things, we're trying to find that sweet spot of immersion, but also something that doesn't overwhelm your senses, if that makes sense. This is like cognitive load is important to us because we see this as something that would run as an extra browser tab, or you would be staring at your phone on your way to work on the train or something like that, and having a very similar experience that's not going to cook your device. That's been our goal since the very beginning. Are you in first person?
Oh yeah, I'm just enjoying that.
Yeah. So one thing is that the walls would be in the ceiling. If you're in first person here, the walls would be there and the ceiling would be there, so it would actually close up differently. So just act like you're in an enclosed space and not in the demo itself. But yeah, that's kind of the quick and skinny on the demo. There's like a lot of the really other neat things that I can show, but that's kind of like the overhead.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to know is if I can have a similar screen like we've seen on stage in one of these smaller rooms.
Yeah, the only thing that we are reserving for events themselves is the video aspect. So you get the drop-in audio, and you get the discoverability of your room if it's on public. You could have your private gatherings. You could even token gate your own space if you wanted to. But you get the entire drop-in audio experience. So people can jump in, you can have them on stage, and everything that you're normally used to having. And there's also like the chat would be actually in a window, and you can actually keep up with that the same way you would in Discord as well. So there's everything you normally get and more, and that's what our goal is, to give you all the usual bits that you used to enjoy in other platforms. We're kind of like the PAL world of metaverse, you know. We just pick and choose, you know.
I feel like that's the way to go, because a lot of things have been tried and a lot of things have not panned out, and there is no reason for you to step on the same rake other people did.
Right, and if things work, like for instance, we have reaction tipping, which is just a very similar setup to, you know, TikTok Live. You have your gifting. We have reaction tipping because we know that that's a great way for creators to get rewarded for you know, live streaming and things like that. So why would we not have something like that when it's obviously a great mechanic? So yeah, it's a bummer. I know we're not gonna have time to get into the ticketing system, the ticket stubs, the tiered access to merchandise and all that fun stuff, but I've definitely enjoyed getting to share this much so far.
Okay, can we head back to the rooftop?
Yeah, just click back for now.
I feel like you guys need like an entire episode just to showcase everything that you guys can do here.
2 hours.
Like,
is
there's
the quickest.
a lot.
2 hours is the quickest I can do it. Like,
that's awesome though. Like,
yeah.
it shows that it's very developed. Like, it's there.
Yeah, we've been cooking, but I wanted to make sure there was a why behind every what, because what you see in the Web3 space more often than not is someone launches a token and they're like, all right, let's build a plane in the air. And I have been burnt so many times by that exact scenario that I really wanted I wanted a plane that had alien technology that just had a vertical takeoff, you know, no 2 years on the runway, which I don't mind that. And I don't mind developing things slow, but I wanted to have a game plan that was ready to go, which really kind of goes into our like a 1.5 year long go-to-market strategy. Still flexible, but like we have this, you know, way of we have the feature releases that line up with our marketing messages, and then how it also aligns with, you know, what we believe would be appealing to the users that we're targeting, like all that stuff. Again, because I didn't want to build a plane in the air, because to me this is like, I don't know, like something that I would want, and also like my contribution back to a space that I, you know, love so much.
I am 100% with it, and I do have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the text scrolling here under the stage. Is there a way to capture websites outside of YouTube, Twitch, and Kick?
In terms of, just to get like this, like you'd be able to like showcase the video playing and stuff like that.
Yeah, just something else.
Yeah. So there, we can use APIs. It's all set up for that sort of thing. If you can think of, if it seems like something you can customize, we probably have that just sitting in the either an Notion board or in a dev cycle that we haven't pushed out yet.
Okay, all right, I see. I'm just
But yes, that's a great. Yeah, I update this every now and again depending on who's using the venue. But having it hooked up to actual stuff that's going on screen as well too. That might be the default metric or default mode. We'll see. But who's ever hosting the event, they have their own admin panel. So in addition to be able to invite people up on stage and do the moderation, they control what's on screen. You actually can see if they pause the video. So if I played a video, like here, I'll do. It's a bummer. You might go,
is this copyrighted?
Look, see, I was showing you. I could pause it. No, it's on YouTube, so it's totally public.
Okay, just checking, because they like to throw their strikes. They seem to have a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
No, it's cool. We're at an angle. Their algorithms can't read this. So.
All right, cool.
If you're in first person mode, we're done.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. But we put a whole lot of emphasis on the event system because we know that is going to be the biggest gateway for adoption. Because we built this a lot for content creators to reach their audience in a way that's more personal, immersive, and just feels more real. But doesn't make them have to do anything out of the normal, like throw on a headset or learn some code or do some, you know what I mean? Like this could easily be added to a Kick streamer's tool belt where they could come in here afterwards and then just do their own meet and greet and stuff like that. So there's the creator, and then there's also communities. And that's also a really big thing that we're tackling, is trying to bring immersive communities to really everyone, but where it makes sense online, and immersive presence with your community members. Because even creators, they technically have communities that they run as well. So we just try to give them a tool belt to do all that. If that makes sense, I feel like that was a lot of things trying to pack into one. It makes
complete sense. It's like another layer on top of streamers, of what streamers are doing right now. Because every once in a while I tune into a stream and you can see all of the active people, the subscribers, as characters walking around at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that, I can be a dog, and I can be, is that a pickle?
It looks like,
or you could be a pickle. Yeah, absolutely. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, I would like to be a pickle.
If you !shuffle, you can try these out. And these are Talk Sam is a close friend of mine from the space.
Ooh.
These are all his open source characters he made, part of his collection. It's just amazing. These guys tie into our own lore. And as needed, like we have an avocado that's pretty much our main character, doing our tutorials and whatnot, but really respecting the OGs in the space, and that's why I love these guys. They have like a real history in Web3. Oh, back to a Doge.
I like this. I feel like this hairstyle really suits me.
Yeah, you can zoom in too and kind of get more of the detail. Again, this is an earlier demo, so a lot of things will be so much more cleaned up. Actually, the entire venue is going to be refinished and dialed in, and I could go into how that even works. And it's like Lego pieces, and it allows us to really spin up the scalability of these build outs, because it's essentially just blocks that have CSS tied to them, but the CSS is just renderings of tiles and doors and walls and whatnot. So it loads really fast, and it's easy to build. And that builder will eventually be public once we kind of perfect it and dial it in. But scalability is really important. And if we're going to be like an evolution of Discord, we really have to be able to not only be easy, but easy. We have to be easy.
Easy and intuitive.
Yeah, and very intuitive. Yeah, and so that's sort of got us to a point. Like I had to wrestle with our 3D guy, because he's like, no, we need the uniqueness. Like we have to strike a balance between the uniqueness and then just being quick. So this is sort of where we're at. But you can also import things in World, not only your own collectibles, as our partnerships kind of roll out, but if you wanted to have more fidelity, like things with more polygons and whatnot, the zone owner themselves can kind of import that stuff to add more decorative things. Yeah, especially for events and stuff. A lot of times people like to bring things in World to showcase. It just doesn't get married into our system unless we kind of process it. So if it's a chair, there's 3 different seating heights for a chair. And if it's so we have to kind of help guide them through that framework as well. But that's kind of our cataloging process. So Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, 2 hours to explain everything. I'm not kidding you.
And this is the
There's
tip
so
of
much
the.
going on.
Yeah, exactly, guys. There are like 30 pages in the slide deck that's pinned in the description. If you do want to learn more, go check it out. Um, because there is a whole lot more information on this, and if you would like to learn more, I saw Russ in our Discord, and you can also hit him up on
Anytime.
Twitter or on X.
Yeah, Russ Frankie on anything you can find me, and I will give you a full tour any day. Um, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I have a feeling we might be doing another one of these, maybe in a bit of a different format, because I am very fascinated by what how this could transform the digital events that we're used to attending.
Yeah, and you
Of
could
course.
even add this onto what you already do here, and it could just be, for people who want to kick it with you guys in a more immersive way. I think that would be awesome.
And you
Just
can
me, I'm biased, but
listen. I have a tiger slash doge wearing a Freddie Mercury jacket. I don't think it gets much
yeah,
better than
that
that.
is. Yeah, no, it's not. But also, you would be able to have your own personal BRMs, and if you love your PFPs and you want to get those translated in world, we can figure that out too. But yeah,
How
we're all
cool.
about allowing you to personalize and reflect yourself exactly how you want to be, and that extends to your character as well. So this again is just part of the demo. It'd be what's in your wallet that would be showing up is available for you to try on and things in your own wardrobe and whatnot. But yeah, we're pumped, man, and super happy I got to share.
Oh, dude, for sure. Is there a way? Can they wave? Oh, I can't wave.
There's I I actually I have to look at the command list. But yeah, there's actually that. So emotes is part of it all. So if you like, eventually when you forward slash, it's gonna have those. It's gonna have the pre-fills, and you'll be able to even change the different types of animations that are in there. If you like to do things in a certain way, you can do it kind of like Fortnite a little bit,
Oh,
but
that's pretty neat.
um,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, folks, we are running up on time and we have some Web3 news to cover. Russ, thanks so much for coming on. It was great talking about Hubzz, about the potential, about all the things it could do, it can do already, and what things it will be able to do in the future.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And I hope we'll see you on here again. I'm really looking forward to one of these digital events. And yeah, keep us in the loop, man. We're here for it.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and anyone if they want to
Thank
reach out,
you.
just I'm a message away.
He's a message away, folks. And yeah, we're going to transition to the usual. We're going to talk about our updates, and we're gonna let Russ go here. Again, thanks so much for coming on, and we'll be seeing you around. Allow me to just switch to the two-person view. Yep.
That is pretty cool. I feel like you guys should have like a whole episode where you just do it there instead.
Oh, I'd be
Yeah.
I'd be most definitely up for it. But yeah,
Uh,
let us talk about what's going on in the Web3 world.
so what's going on in Web3 news? News around Web3. So what's going on?
What?
Take
Well,
us into the first little bit here.
okay, sure. So, uh, the first and the more exciting thing that I would like to bring to all of you is what's going on with Department of Justice and what they've been up to. Because Department of Justice access the crypto unit as Trump's regulatory pullbacks continue, and the the U.S. Department of Justice has disbanded its National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team, also known as NCET, on Monday. And what this means for us that as a part of a shift in focus under President Donald Trump's administration and the executive order from January, which had pledged to establish regulatory clarity and certainty, and the Department of Justice is not a digital asset regulator, and Blanche himself wrote in the official memo that, however, the prior administration used Department of Justice to pursue a reckless strategy of regulation by prosecution, which was ill-conceived and poorly executed. The Justice Department will no longer pursue litigations or enforcement actions that have the effects of superimposing regulatory frameworks on digital assets, while President Trump's actual regulators do this work outside the punitive criminal justice framework. And Again, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche announced that DOJ will be no longer prosecuting cryptocurrency exchanges and services for and this is a direct quote from the memo, for the acts of their users and unwitting violation sorry, all of this is live. This is a mouthful. For the acts of the end users or unwitting violations of regulations. So the staff were ordered not to charge regulatory violations in cases involving crypto, including violations of Bank Secrecy Act, also known as BSA, which is unlicensed money transmitting, and other violations tied to federal securities and commodities law. And instead of that, DOJ staff were ordered to focus their resources on prosecuting individuals who victimize digital asset investors or who use crypto in the furtherance of criminal activities like terrorism and gang financing.
Good. So it sounds like they're doing something that is needed instead of going after people that are just,
Yeah, instead of going after the people and companies, organizations, projects, whoever who's trying to make it in the world of Web3, playing by the rules, doing everything right, instead of
hmm
just slapping them on their hands for no good reason, they're actually going to focus on
the
things that
criminal
are a
stuff
big
instead.
problem. Yeah,
Good. I applaud you.
yeah.
Yay! You
Thank
guys
you.
are doing something right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And furthermore, Blanche wrote, ongoing investigations that are inconsistent with the foregoing should be closed, adding that his office will work with DOJ's criminal division to review ongoing cases for consistency with this policy. So what this means is they're going to be reviewing all of the ongoing cases right now to decide whether or not they're going to proceed, depending whether or not those cases fit the bill for their new criteria, which again is good. I'm glad they're just not dropping everything all at once. They're taking a bit of a deeper look and exploring what those cases have to do with what is actually going on, and I'm assuming we're going to see more cases dropped if all of them have not been dropped just yet. And on top of that, this move,
Oh, about darn time.
I mean, it's taken a while. I'm very much glad that we're at the very least that we're getting the benefit of the doubt instead of us just getting punished here and there. But just to wrap this up, this move aligns with President Trump's executive order aimed at providing regulatory clarity and reducing enforcement action against the cryptocurrency industry, just making things a little bit easier for us. And Anita, would you like to cover the last one?
Definitely. So, what's going on in Binance news? So, Binance is going to purge 14 tokens following the vote to delist process. Do we have a little thing to share up with that?
Uh, we do. Give me just
So,
a second. Yeah, keep going.
no problem. Okay, so Binance is set to delist 14 tokens from its exchange on April 16th, following the first ever vote to delist process. The community nominated tokens were evaluated on multiple factors, including the, pro- the project team commitment, development activity, responsiveness to Binance's due diligence, liquidity, trading volume, and network stability, and also regulatory compliance. Now, the tokens have been removed. The tokens to be removed are Badger, Ball, Beta, Cream, CTXS, ELF, Firo, Hard, Gulls, Pros, SMT, Troy, UFT, and VIDT. Now, I don't even know if I'm saying half of these things correctly, but
Sounds right.
we have them up on screen there for you. Okay. The action reflects Binance's effort to raise listing standards and protect users amid a flood of low quality tokens and growing regulatory pressure. Binance recently extended its cliff period for new token sales to at least 1 year, aligning with global trends, not records, towards stricter exchange oversight.
Yeah.
So I believe that's a good thing because, like, there's a lot of things I can launch and they're not high quality, right?
It's it might be a little too easy to launch a token and hype it.
Mm. Don't we all know that, hey? Oh,
Yeah, but it's good to see the way they're handling it because I can see like a Web2 native company, cough cough, like Robinhood, cough cough, just deciding to axe tokens, deciding to axe whatever projects they deem not necessary. They deem, for lack of a better term, God, what should I say so people don't get upset at me? Okay, let's just say unworthy projects and tokens unworthy of the exchange. But the way Binance is handling it is they let people vote on the tokens that should be delisted, and it's again a good step, a great step in the right direction. I'm assuming we're going
yeah.
to see a lot more of these, and maybe other exchanges will follow suit because I feel like we could we could probably purge a few hundred tokens from every exchange and be
Oh
just
yeah,
fine.
because there's just so many, right? Way too many. So you guys can actually read the full article on Binance's site under their announcements.
Yep, under their announcements,
Little
and
tab there.
both of the articles are pinned in the description. I know we ran over today, but I'm glad we got to cover just about everything. I'm glad we got to talk about Hubs.
Hubs is great. Like there's just so much to unpack that I feel like the amount of time that you guys had is not enough, and there's just still so much more. So I believe you guys should actually just do an episode in Hubs. That would be even cooler. And then that way you guys can like display everything that it has to offer, all of the cool things that you can do on screen, all of the interactions. And like if you guys want to, sorry, not if you guys can build that plane while you guys are, showcasing everything, that would be cool too, right? Do
Honestly,
it on
I have
camera.
an idea of what I want to do, but I need to have a conversation with a few people before I talk about it. This way, I don't get myself or anyone else in trouble. But stay tuned, folks. We'll organize
uh,
something.
but rules are meant to be broken. I'm just kidding. Don't do it. Get permission first. Get permission first. Don't ask for forgiveness with certain things. Okay?
Yeah,
Certain things.
pretty much. Okay, folks.
Now, yeah, please remember that we do strive to provide the best news and information available. However, it's not perfect and neither are sources. So if you ever feel that there is something that we need to cover, let us know. Where do we want this information? In our Discord, there it's in our links below. You can yeah, just click on our description box. We have all of the links to all the projects, anywhere that you need to communicate with us, all of the good stuff. And what we forgot to tell you guys today is to like and
Oh, like
subscribe,
and
and don't
subscribe.
forget to hit that notification bell. We got so excited, we just jumped into it. We were like, "Yay, here we go."
Pretty much. But yeah, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Great talking to you. Great talking to you, Subspace. Thank you so much for your questions. And we'll be seeing you
Hmm.
again in another week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. 2 weeks on a
2 weeks.
Tuesday. That's it.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, folks.
All right.
Thank you so much.
See
We'll be
ya.
seeing you. Okay, bye.